Here at the scene of the crime spree, right behind me.
Strange.
Vice Mayor Strange, you'll address her properly.
You can kiss my foot.
Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
Did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena. And
Most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
Well, tomorrow is the big day finally. And I'll bet you the candidates are happy about that. Both of them in the big race between Griff Griffiths and Brian Cloudis for state representative. That's a really big seat. It's a powerful seat. There are 120 state representatives in the state legislature that represent the people. And it's been a very powerful seat out of those 120. When I arrived here in January of 2007, Alan Bentz had been that state representative for 8 years. And the final two, 2005 and 2006, he was the Speaker of the House. And he worked very closely with Jeb Bush, the governor at the time. And it's my opinion that Alan Bentz was a fantastic Speaker of the House. And I think just about everybody agrees with that. Then Jimmy Patronis won, and he served 8 years. And he's now the CFO in the cabinet for the governor. Then the last 8 years, it's been Jay Trumbull. And he's had a powerful position. He was the chairman of the Appropriations Committee, I believe. And now he's running for Senate against Regina Piazza, who we had on the show. Tomorrow, this is all going to be sorted out. Early voting is over. It ended on Saturday. The mail-in ballots, absentee, that's done. And tomorrow is Super Tuesday. Got the school board race, too. And, you know, I've been endorsing Francis Keys Gordon in that race. And I should tell you this, too. I got into a conversation. I got dragged into a rough and tumble conversation with Alan Branch, who is a businessman and I would say influencer in downtown Panama City. Somebody I like and admire. But he threw some elbows at me pretty hard on his page. So I called him, and he called me back. I think this morning we talked. Gosh, I think it was this morning. So anyway, we had a good conversation. And he was saying, look, people are wondering about these paid ads on your show. Are you pay to play? What's the difference between people paying you to say stuff and, you know, some of the other stuff that goes on around here? So I explained to him how this works. Look, people with shows like this, the way they get revenue is selling advertising. And let's take a look specifically at this. So in 2016, I started doing this, and I had rotating ads. Do you remember those static ads that would rotate over my shoulder? And I remember I believe three people bought ads in 2016 in the Panama City Beach race for mayor. Bob Smith, Jim Barr, and Calvin Chester. And they all bought ads. They were paid ads. And most recently, Mary Coburn bought an ad. Now, I also, separate and apart from the paid ad, endorsed Mary Coburn because I believed in her. With those other candidates, I don't believe I endorsed any one of those three candidates, although I voted for Calvin Chester. No, I voted for Ken Nelson, I believe. I most certainly voted for Ken Nelson in that race. So, but Ken didn't buy ads, which is the only reason he lost to Mike Thomas. Now, anyway, if you're smart, you buy political ads on the show. So understand, it's pretty clear. It's a paid ad. It says paid ad. It's clearly an ad. I might play a paid ad and endorse, or I might pay a paid ad and not endorse. Now, will I take money from anybody? The answer is no. I would not take money. I wouldn't take money. Now, TV stations would, and radio stations would and should, but this is my show. I would not take money to play a Jeff McConnell commercial ad or Griff Griffiths. I wouldn't do it. There are also businesses that have asked to advertise on my show, and I've had to tell them no, even if I believe in their businesses, because what I fear would happen is tremendous retaliation against the business. So there are some businesses I tell, no, I turn down money because of the corruption in this town, the tortious interference in this town. So I just wanted to clear that up. I will be playing 2 political ads today for Brian Cloudis and for Francis Keys Gordon, both of whom I also endorse. Okay, so we're clear there. What I'm going to show you tonight is unbelievable. I'm going to show you that WMBB published on their website primary election results a day before the election. Now, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to read to you my commentary. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about a weird story that took place at the Brian Cloudis headquarters in Panama City. It's a shared office space. I'm going to tell you the story from Brian Cloudis's perspective, who I talked to, and from Lynn Haven Mayor Jesse Nelson's perspective, who I talked to for 20 minutes in a recorded interview. It's posted yesterday or the day before. And Mayor Jesse Nelson returned my call because he was the subject of the story. And so I should reach out to him and get his point of view, obviously. And he said, I'll talk to you, but I want the whole thing recorded, and I don't want you to play any part of it separately, the entire thing. So you can't edit stuff out and make me look bad. So I said, absolutely. And I published the whole conversation, and he looked bad. Be careful what you wish for. Oh my goodness. It was talking to Jesse Nelson is just like talking to former Councilman Hector Solis in Panama City and Jeff McConnell. Very defensive, very evasive. They don't answer questions, basic questions. And then they try to make you feel crazy because they won't answer your question. They are gaslighters, all 3 of them. You can hear the whole conversation if you scroll down. But let's do this. I want to show you who I hope you will vote for tomorrow. We have a real chance here. The reason that the establishment is freaking out and doing crazy stuff is because both of the candidates that are for the people and the parents and the students, Brian Cloudis and Francis Keys Gordon, have a real chance to win, just like Mary Coburn won. And like I say, I'm glad the election's tomorrow. I bet the candidates are even more glad, and the volunteers that are working so hard, and everybody else in this town. So here are the paid ads of the people I hope you vote for tomorrow.
If you're fed up with parents being kept out of the loop in our schools,
political nonsense crowding out basic education, and Bay District Schools, with its $500 million budget, spending too much money on contractors and consultants instead of on the students themselves, then vote for Francis Keyes Gordon for school board on or before August 23rd.
While getting to know the residents of Bay County, I observed a pattern of complaints about corrupt career politicians, people born into politics, buying their way into politics, and creating self-serving policy for themselves, their families, and their friends. It's time to shake things up and get an America First patriot in office, one who is for the people and of the people.
That would be the biggest upset in the history of Bay County politics if Brian Cloudis defeats the current Bay County commissioner and establishment choice, Griffiths, who became a home builder after he was elected to the Bay County Commission and votes on home builder type issues. Okay, so what we have a chance to do in Bay County is have actual elections rather than selections, right? And this is something that Brian Cloudis talks about. People being selected for the job instead of elected for the people. We have a real chance to have an election and not a selection tomorrow. The establishment is counting on a low turnout, right? If you don't normally vote and you really don't feel like getting out there and doing it, which is easy, then Brian Cloudis will probably lose, and Griffiths, the selection, will probably win. If there's a higher turnout than normal, people are saying, experts say, thus saith the Lord. That's like experts say these days. That's what Dennis Prager said. There's a good chance Brian Cloudis wins. It depends on you, and it is an incredible opportunity to start cleaning up Bay County. So hopefully you'll go out and do that. Here's what I'm going to show you today, though. All right, so this is something I made. Primary election results published a day early. Now, that is WMBB. Arthur Cullen is the campaign manager and political operative for all the establishment candidates. He was the campaign manager for Lynn Haven Mayor Jesse Nelson, who is endorsing the current client of Arthur Cullen, Griffiths. All right. And also, Arthur Cullen works closely with Neves Media, owned by Todd Neves. Now, Neves Media is an official partner. See that? Neves Media partners with WMBB to expand local coverage. Yeah, right. It's a very incestuous situation. If you want to talk about blurring lines and ethical transgressions, I would say having the PR firm for the establishment candidates being an official partner with WMBB, well, now you found it. All right, so I'm going to show you now what I posted on this page. You're going to see what was published on WMBB today and the questions that are raised. All right. Now I've written over it because I don't want to republish their primary count, right? I don't want to cause misinformation, so I've written over it there. And what you'll see is there were about 7 of these pages. There were state races, there were local races, and they were published on mypanhandle.com, which is WMBB's website, published live. If you looked at it, and people did, one person told me that they saw it as early as 11 a.m. So people saw this. And what you'll see underneath there is it says, WMBB said today that that Griffiths had, I can't really see it, but it's like 80-something% of the votes. Like, it's a ridiculous amount. oh, here it is, had 175 votes to 30 votes at like they were counting. In other words, he was winning big time. Now, here's what else makes this suspicious. When you look at all of the, and I'm not showing you the other pages because again, I don't want to create confusion, misinformation. Okay. But if you look at the race, the primary, the Democrat primary for governor, Charlie Crist is in there. His name starts with a C. His name is at the top. It goes in alphabetical order. It always does. But WMBB flipped it around and put Griffiths at the top and Cloudis at the bottom and said that Cloudis was getting trounced. Now, it's really important that when you go vote tomorrow and you bring your friends with you and your family so that we can make a big difference here, that you let everybody know that WMBB published misinformation. All right. This is not, well, if it's accurate, how did they get it? I don't know. Do you think that's accurate? Neither do I. All right. So let me show you now. That's what was posted. Oh, so the Cloudis campaign contacted the supervisor of elections this afternoon, Mark Anderson. Mark Anderson promptly called WMBB. WMBB said, we're just testing. That's all. We're just testing. So supervisor of elections, Mark Anderson said, well, you better make all those numbers 0 for all of the races. They need to be 0. You cannot publish that, which they did. Immediately, WMBB took it down after the supervisor of elections called. All right, let's take a look at the comments here. So I said, primary election results published today on WMBB TV website, just removed, and I posted this 5 hours ago, just removed after supervisor of elections called the TV station this afternoon. WMBB told supervisor of elections, Mark Anderson, that they were just testing. All right. So I am asking you, if you look down at this post, to let everybody know so they don't believe that this has already been counting and, you know. So, but these are the questions that arise. How long were these results published by WMB? Published. And how many people saw it? Number 2, and this is a big question. I want you to think about this. If they were testing, where were they pulling the data from? Because the other ones don't look like this. The other ones look like you would see on TV. The other ones have like all the candidates, alphabetical order, and they had a whole bunch of votes and percentages like you'll see tomorrow. That's how the other ones look. It was only Brian Cloudis's race and Francis Keys Gordon race that looked crazy. But still, where were they getting the numbers? Where were they pulling these from? If they're testing, they are testing getting those numbers from somewhere, right? They're not just typing them in. How does that work exactly? We should find out. WMBB ought to tell us. They had data populated in these races for all states and local races. How exactly was this testing performed? Number 3, were these test results published on WMBB's live website? Why were they on the live website rather than a beta site? Why would they do that? Do they think nobody looks at their site? Clearly, a lot of people did, and they were misled. Number 4, who exactly was in charge of this testing and publishing? Remember, WMBB partners with Neves Media, which also does IT services. That's what Neves Media does. Let's see if I can do it like this. No. All right. I'll show you in a moment. They also do IT services. Remember, Neves Media is partners with WMBB and works closely with Arthur Cullen, the campaign manager for Griff Griffiths. Number 5, question. Why is the name Griffiths above the name Cloudis? They had to change that. That's not how it looks. That's not how any of the other ones were. No other such switches were made during WMBB's testing. Number 6, why is the upload date listed as 4 months ago? 4 months ago. Oh my God. Number 7, do you think WMBB should issue a statement to the public explaining this incident, why they had to get a phone call from the supervisor of elections to take it down before they took it down today, and apologize for any confusion or election interference that they may have caused? I think so. All right, now I'm going to show you a little bit more about their media partner, Neves Media, and explain why this is an issue to me and to some others. And I'll show you that right after this.
Have you received a speeding ticket for which you want no points placed onto your driving record? I'm El Saulene, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at PCAirRepair.com. Okay, so here is Neves Media, a local company. All right, what do? Well, you see right there, they do advertising. So the establishment candidates usually go through Neves Media, spend about $60,000 for a county commission race, and get their signs and commercials and all that stuff, right? So they are the advertising firm for the candidates, the establishment candidates. Not in this case, I believe Griff is using somebody, a company, I forget the name, out of Tallahassee. But they also have information technology. They're IT people. Neves Media is IT people. So I would guess maybe they do a little work there. Maybe they do a little work or advise, consult on WMBB and the stuff we're talking about. Website design is other stuff they do. That's Neves Media. All right. So let's take a look at a story about when they became partners. And let's see how that went. So incestuous. All right. Here's the story. And it was published in the Star, which is a newspaper serving Gulf County that Neves also bought. So his own newspaper is telling this story. Okay. News Media partners with Neves Media, partners with WMBB to expand local coverage is all. So this is written by his newspaper. March 2021. In a continued, now is this news, do you think, or is this PR? Remember, it's Todd Neves' newspaper. In a continued commitment to increase the level of local news, sports, and interest stories to Gulf, Franklin, Washington, and Holmes counties, Neves Media Publishing has partnered with WMBB TV News 13. This partnership will provide an enhanced level of reporting in print as well as on television and the web by expanding the news resources for both companies. And then a quote from the president, Todd Neves himself. We are making great strides to provide more real-time information that is locally focused, he said. This partnership will allow Neves Media Publishing and WMBB TV to share resources. So when you run against an establishment candidate and they're using Neves Media for their signs and commercials that go on WMBB, understand you're also going against WMBB. They're partners. And they share resources and provide better response times to news events and enhanced coverage, and counting primary elections a day in advance. I made that last part up. Now, Huey Lewis in the News chimed in. Tom Lewis, that's my nickname for him, Huey Lewis in the News. He loves it. If you see Tom Lewis, call him Huey Lewis in the News. He'll just laugh. Quote, this is a win-win partnership, says Tom Lewis.
not only for News 13 and News Media Publishing, but for the news consumers of the Panhandle. This will allow both organizations to cover more news territory, create more meaningful content for our viewers and readers, and help our employees work more efficiently. We're excited about the results this partnership will generate. Are you? Now, Todd Neves' own newspaper reporting on them says, in the coming weeks, golly, man, in the coming weeks, you will see a complete makeover of the web and print presence of all of our publications and websites. So maybe Neves Media is involved in the website and election primary testing. Don't know. We should ask. Actually, WMBB should, at this point, come out and explain the process, don't you think? So here's what a group publisher for the 4 weekly newspapers said. We're pleased to partner with a respected area news organization that will help us deliver locally focused news and relevant information daily across our media platforms. And she also said that the real winners in this joint initiative are our collective audiences. You are a joint winner because Neves Media and WMBB are partners. Do you feel like you're getting local news in an efficient manner, fair and balanced? Let's see. Print, digital, and broadcast who want to know in a timely manner what's happening in their home communities that make their lives better, keep them safe, and chronicle their milestones. We encourage our readers and advertisers to provide feedback and also share information, photos, and videos with us that can be relevant stories as we change the landscape of our weekly newspapers into a real-time daily news source. Okay, so now you got it, right? Neves Media and WMBB are partners, shared resources. And Todd Neves is a lot of local powerful people. State Attorney Larry Bassford, others will go up to Todd at events that we see and say, man, you're really growing. Congratulations on all of the newspapers and the news that you're able to somehow buy up to control the narrative to help the establishment. We noticed that State Attorney Bassford was really excited for Todd at the debate between Griff Griffiths and Brian Cloudis that took place about 6 weeks ago at the college, because Larry Bassford, the state attorney, is endorsing Griff Griffiths and was telling Todd what a good job he's doing with these papers. It's the kind of interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Let me just show you this too. One more thing. Yeah, I'll show you one more story about this. Tie it all up neatly in a bow for you, and glance over your comments right after this.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777.
All right, one more for you, just so you know who the players are in the local news, especially with regard to WMBB that published the primary election results a day early. Talk about being timely and quick. I should give them more credit. So here you see a story, WMBB reporting on their own guy. Todd Neves, this is news, right? This is news. Todd Neves joins Florida Press Association Board of Directors. All right, there he is. That is your news guy in the Panhandle, the news mogul. The Florida Press Association selected Panama City businessman Todd Neves to join their board of directors at their annual meeting. The Florida Press Association was founded in 1879 as a nonprofit corporation to protect the freedoms and advance the professional standards of the press. Okay, that's the face of professional standards and ethics in journalism, because WMBB said it is. Its purpose includes the promotion and encouragement of higher standards in journalism to the benefit of the industry and the public, the aid and advancement of the study of journalism, of which I have a master's degree from USC in Los Angeles that I'm terribly proud of, by the way, the encouragement of a better understanding between the public and the press, trying to understand that today, but WMBB is not talking about why they published the results of the primary election a day early, and why they had to get a call from the supervisor of elections office telling them to fix it. That's a problem. I mean, am I going out on a limb, or is that a problem? The encouragement of better business methods and practices within the industry, like partnering. I wonder if this article from WMBB will say that the subject of their story is a partner of the news station. They should. The encouragement of positive fraternal relationships within the press and the representation of the common interest of the press on issues of general welfare and mutual concern. The Florida Press Association includes all of the daily and most of the weekly newspapers in the state in its membership. Todd Neves, a Bay County native, operates several firms in North Florida. We'll go there another time, including Neves Media Solutions Group, Tech Pro Alarm Systems, Neves Media Publishing, which owns the Washington County News, the Holmes County Times, the Port St. Joe Star, and the Apalachicola Times. Those newspapers are part of, those newspapers are part of a partnership with News 13. So the very last sentence, they tell you that the subject of the story is a news partner of theirs. All right. There you have it. Boy, tomorrow can't come fast enough. So again, the election is tomorrow, the primary, the Super Tuesday. And whoever, this is important to know in the state election, the race for state representative, because there are no Democrat candidates, everybody can vote, even though it's a primary. So if you're an independent like I am, or if you're a Democrat, you get to vote. If you don't like the way the Bay County Commission has raised your water rates, or what all of the other things they've done, as a Democrat, you get to vote on this. You get to vote the establishment candidate, Griff Griffiths, out. How come when I do that, that one goes? So Democrats, independents, you get to vote in this. The higher the turnout, the better the chance that we begin cleaning this place up starting tomorrow. All right. Is that something? I want to remind you too, if you have not yet, this show's also on YouTube, and I don't have nearly as many subscribers on YouTube as I have followers on Facebook, and I would love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Bernie Thompson Show. And if you'd like to support my independent efforts to tell you the truth, you can become a patron. That's another way this show survives, is linking arms with me and donating as little as $5 a month. And it is easy. You can quit at any time, and it's anonymous. You say, Bernie, I can't donate to you. Are you crazy? They'll come after me. It's anonymous. Also, I want to thank, as always, the Unknown Patriot. Thank you so much for helping me get the word out. I appreciate it. I'm going to sign out. Tomorrow's going to be a very big day. I'm a little nervous. I'm even a little nervous. Francis Keys Gordon for the school board. If you want a non-establishment, somebody who has a degree in business administration, somebody who's taught children who are hard to teach, somebody who understands reading is the priority here, not woke political BS, but reading. Somebody who looks at a $500 million budget and says, we got to get this thing straight and stop spending like there's no tomorrow and become more responsible. If you want a candidate that cares what the parents have to say, not just the administrators and the unions, Francis Keys Gordon for school board would be a great start. And of course, Brian Cloudis, if you want to kick the good old boys to the curb, but you got to get out there and vote and bring somebody with you. And it can happen. This is a close one. I get the same feeling as I had with Mary Coburn when she defeated the incumbent just a few months ago, Jeff McConnell in Panama City Beach. Same feeling. And I'm not the only one. All right. I'll see you soon.